Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. Any questions other than the questions of Mr. Bashir Hayat? Yes, we gave you some time last night, and your questions were not yet exhausted. Huh? How many could you ask? A few? How many did you ask last night? No, just tell me here.
Ask one of them.
Once you go there, it will be very difficult for me to dislodge you from there. So let us speak from here for the time being. How many? Last night. Today we know it is a long list, of course. Huh? Only one?
Yesterday.
So any questions? Please, yes? Wa alaikum salam rahmatullah. How are you?
Fine.
Fine? What's your question, please?
My question is that in history we see that, for instance, when Christianity, when it started getting popular among the Romans, because when Constantine became emperor, he turned Christian, and then it was the fashion to become Christian.
Right.
And isn't there not a danger of Islam becoming the same when victory of Islam finally sets in?
Of course, there are always dangers attendant upon such situations where a religion has become the king's religion or the government's religion. But Islam has an inbuilt defensive system. It's not an easy task to become a true Muslim. It's very demanding. And you have to change the whole pattern of your life. So, if you become Muslim, somebody becomes Muslim for the sake of cheap popularity or to gain favors and things, if he can afford to change his way of life, only then he will be apparently Muslim. Otherwise, he would remain in a Muslim in name alone, and such people can easily be detected. They can't deceive anybody.
During the
But of course, there are always dangers, and there are always possibilities of hypocrites who can go to any length to deceive people, and they sometimes become very pious, with great, all the external symptoms which are normally related to pious people. Anybody can easily imitate them. So they imitate them, and they also say prayers, and they have also been mentioned in the Holy Quran as such, as exhibitionists, only who show off, but there is nothing within them. So there are always these dangers and possibilities, and one has to be vigilant against them. Yes. And now, you wanted to say something else? There is something hovering on your lips which I didn't permit you to say.
That this question came into my mind because during the Holy Prophet's time,
yes,
the hypocrites then they did.
Of course, they were doing. Right. You can't do away with hypocrisy. That's the great curse, which is like a plague to human society. Now, any other question, please?
Assalamu alaikum. There's a widely reported view that the poor and the disadvantaged in society tend to seek refuge in religion, supporting the popular saying that religion is the opium of the masses.
Yes.
What is the view of Ahmadiyyat in this popular belief?
Yes, that's right. The whole history of Islam belies this allegation against Islam. Not only that, the early history of every religion belies this allegation. The fact is that this dictum was invented by Marx, I suppose, for the first time, or maybe somebody else did it and he borrowed it from him. But anyway, I have read it in Marx's literature. that opium, the religion is an opium for the common man to exploit the common people and keep them in the bondage of wealthy people, wealthy society. And the prophets, so-called prophets according to him, and the religious elders only play as tools in the hands of the aristocracy of the time, or whatever system of society is found in those days. Now this is his impression about religion, which he received from the society around him. And that society was the creation of a decadent religion, not religion itself. Religion, that is Christianity in this context, had already decayed and got corrupted. And in those days, church itself was the oppressor. In fact, there was a very strong criminal league between the church and the governments. And more often than not, in European history, it was the church which exerted evil influence of oppression over the regimes of that time, and it was a very, very rich institution. In fact, there are eras in European history where you find the church in certain states, for instance in France and in some other states, the richest institution which wielded the greatest power, and the interest of the oppressor and the interest of the church were directly related. They were not working as a tool in other people's hands. That was not correct. But religion was used as an opium, of course, by the church itself. Now this is the society in which Engels and Marx were born. They opened their eyes in such situations. And they, unfortunately for them and for the rest of the world, they considered Christianity as the sole religion of the world. Not only that, they considered the Christianity of their time as true Christianity, and not only a bona fide representative of Christianity, but also a bona fide representative of all religion. So I don't say they drew this inference wrongfully with malintention. Anyone with sanity, anyone with common sense, born in such circumstances would reach the same conclusion with common sense but limited knowledge about religion. And that is what created this fallacy, this false notion. Marx was a very intelligent person, highly intelligent person, no doubt. And within a certain sphere, he was also an honest intellectual. I don't think he went wrong intentionally. But he was a product of his time himself, as he looked at the other people as products of their times. This is what he establishes in the strongest terms, that each man is the product of his time and the product of his system. So was he himself. That is what people of today forget to note about Marx. And being the product of his time, he couldn't have come out with any other slogan than this, in condemnation of religion. But had he got access to truly religious history anywhere in the world, he would have been surprised to note that each religion started from poverty. It was never the oppressor, it was the one oppressed. Each religion started for raising the slogan in favor of the poor, not in the favor of oppressed society. And it was at that stage, it was most loathsome to